And of course, we end up on Dust 2. Joining me once again is Maui Snake. We're going to be back into the action pretty quickly. The knife round just concluding. How do you feel this one is going to go?
Oh, it's hard to tell. It's been a back and forth affair. I feel like in game one, it felt like what we saw from Endpoint was just not the usual Endpoint, where it didn't feel like they were really communicating as well as they maybe normally do. That they were, I don't know, maybe it felt like they lost a step from when I normally see them, but they finally got their sea legs and they showed it there on Vertigo. That being said, AGO looked much better than I expected on that map. So this is a hard one to call. I predicted Endpoint from the start, so I'm just going to stick with that, though.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I feel like they play an awful lot of Dust 2, so as I kind of said in the pregame, perhaps a little less to think about in the sense of the map, but it's been hard. We had Oscarish on the previous map. We had MHL on the first map. I think Dust 2, of course, is a map that really hands itself to the individuals, so you never know. Starting on the CT side, could be hard to get a grip on them. Thomas, though, going to find the first two heads of this here map. Mighty Max will fall, I think, through the smoke, actually, so a little bit of a shame there. Furlan getting aggressive here as well, moving up onto Xbox. Surreal going to take down Thomas. Oh, no, that's not the goal. Furlan as well gets another frag before falling. Oh, and it's into a 2 versus 2 with the bomb being dropped behind. The two T's are a little split. MHL is around. Could get the perfect timing here if he plays his cards right. Not quite going to find it, but still pulling this back to a doable situation. A crazy pistol to start us off, and it's not even over yet.
Oh, no, it's not. NHL fighting off of catwalk, but he's not able to do anything just yet. Two of these players, okay, Oscar does, in fact, get NHL tap down to 20. This will make it very difficult for him to get back into this one. Surreal headshot angle so well, and he looks to close it out. And AGO, they're just being a little bit too long with this. Surreal is able to find a nice headshot, and Robin is as well. Good start to start off strong 1-0.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're a little laggy there, but yes, I think we get to the tail end of things through thick and thin. Endpoint pretty much, right, as well. That's kind of the story for them. A really topsy-turvy way to begin proceedings, but they are happy to find a little bit of stability early, I believe. 3 scouts brought up here, and you can see why. Furlan in with a crazy little headshot. 5 versus 4 coming in early on, and the Deagle pushed up from Groovy here as well. Gotta be careful. He will catch Mighty Max, drops the bomb. Uh-oh. XCOM AGO coming in with a cheeky round. Might just be able to find themselves the steal here. This is definitely not how Endpoint wanted things to begin, moving into a very important round for them. Not sure if we're back. We'll wait and see. It seems like he's gone for a bit of a reconnect. Are you with us, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I need to start up the feed
no
again,
worries,
though, so
no
this
worries.
is all you.
Okay, this is all me, boys. It's all about AGO as well in this round. Surreal trying to pull things back, but still going to be pretty difficult. Not looking too good at all. Low HP bars dotted about. Really struggling here. Really struggling indeed. See what they're able to find. As the CT's just starting to play a little more passive. Fiku, nice shot. Not quite landing it. They are so very low, and there's still 3 scouts in play. It is so very hard to call right now. We'll see how things go. Oh, yeah, they're just going to be walking straight into 2 scouts. Not looking good at all. MHL dropping the bomb once again. Fiku takes down Surreal, and it looks like Endpoint might just be losing themselves against the Force by really not ideal. Crazy headshot to open things up, but just never really got a grasp on the round. The CTs seem to be everywhere, right? Pushing up middle, coming in on flanks. Really hard round for Endpoint to keep up with, and they're just not able to do so. Robin saves his AK, but I mean, yeah, around the AGO just steal away for sure. If they'd have closed the gap a bit faster, I think it would have been hard for them, but just went into all the right spots for those scouts to work with. All right, we'll see what the force spike can get done here. AK in play for Robin, but other than that, not an awful lot to write home about. Ooh, he does manage to find that frag onto Fiku, though. That is pretty big. Again, it's not a perfect buy from AGO. Definitely is doable here. Slowly but surely going to start creeping their way in. It's Groovy, of course, coming in from behind. Perfect timing. Oh, he lines them all up. There's a team kill in there. A little bit messy. Whoopsie daisy. Mighty Mac's going to be the only one left. 1 versus 4, and he gets caught with the perfect timing from MHL. Second round for AGO did look a little dicey to begin with, but they are able to pull it back in the end. Looking pretty good indeed. As you can see in the replay. Either way, Endpoint gonna have to eco things out here. Looking more and more like AGO are gonna start to edge ahead, which is a bit of a shame. They started off very well on the Endpoint side of things. It was a crazy pistol, indeed, but unfortunately, it has kind of fallen by the wayside since then. Nice double spray down. Crucial does just steal that frag onto Furlan, but the round itself, not a chance. Fiku with the 3k. And a third for AGO. Any damage is good damage there, but would be nice to find a little more on the Endpoint side of things, particularly coming into this first rifle round.
Ooh. Pause comes out right when I return. Okay. Does it sound good now?
It does indeed.
All right,
All
great.
good.
Okay. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart. I'm not sure what was happening there. I think it was just routing to the voice server. Well, AGO with a nice start, though, on this one. Endpoint unable to convert the second round after their pistol victory, and it's been pretty much all downhill from there, it looks like. Just 6 frags for the Endpoint side. In total, 5 of those were on the pistol round. They only actually got a single frag after that first round. So that's it's not what you're looking for if you are the Endpoint side. AGO, pretty clean victories thus far.
Yeah, they've really been looking good, to be honest. So it is a little worrying for Endpoint very early on, right? AGO have been this super difficult team to stop the momentum of. We've seen so many 6, 7, 8 round runs from them across the course of this series.
Looks like Endpoint is receiving a little bit of loss in the server, which is why they called for the technical timeout. Hopefully that's resolved. That usually just takes a little bit of time.
Been a difficult day in that sense. Both teams having a few issues here and there, from keyboards to random timeouts.
Yep.
Not been the best day, I guess, for that kind of thing. Hopefully it is not setting the trend for the rest of the day. Suppose now would be a good time to plug the giveaway, of course. You know what time it is, folks. Exclamation mark giveaway in the chat, provided by Skin Baron. Shout out to those guys for giving us a little bit of an exciting giveaway towards the tail end of the Home Sweet Home Cup run. Of course, some vouchers, a knife skin, the bayonet, just a normal bayonet Damascus Steel, and the A1S Player 2 as well. So be sure to get amongst it. We've got a bit of time. Sure someone has hit that link in the chat while we've been talking away. Trying to extend it as long as I possibly can so that the game starts, but fortunately not working. Doing my best here, guys.
Why? Okay, question. The amount of deaths on the side of AGO don't match up with the amount of kills on Endpoint. Am I missing something? In fact, the player that just DC'd also had a death.
I think we've seen like 2 team kills from Endpoint already, so that's probably a little bit.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch those as I was reconnecting, but all right, that explains that.
Yeah, bit of a mad one, and definitely again a little thing, but might get to them in a sense. I think there was one in the pistol and then one in the eco rounds where they had like deagles. So But it
Right.
can definitely get to you. It's like an unforced error that you don't really want to make a habit of, and they kind of have done. So
By no means, would you want to make that a habit. That's odd that it usually maybe you'll see once a game, you know, not twice in the first few rounds, 4 rounds, I guess. But all right, we are rebuying back into this one here. I think hopefully the player that was having issues is now better. It'd be a shame if this game were stripped away from us, or the integrity of it were due to, you know, something just completely out of anyone's control. So I'd love to see this just proceed the way that it was meant to.
I think looking good in that sense. Everyone's back on the server. Everyone's ready. Everyone's bought up. Normally a good sign. I suppose just making sure. A few last-minute things. But yeah, definitely can happen. I think there was someone last week. Config on Complexity was having some real issues. Sometimes you just, like you say, you can't really help it. And your connection just doesn't want to play ball on the given day. So can be troublesome and really does slow the momentum down and everything. AGO looking really decisive in these early rounds, getting that force buy and then cleaning up house for the next couple. Meanwhile, now Endpoint have had an awful lot of time to work things out and get ready mentally and I suppose physically in terms of the strategy and structure. But still, AGO got to make sure everybody's on the same page and ready to go.
Yeah, I think we're ready. I think everything is good. All right, let's see if Endpoint can get back in this game. AGO on a 3-round win streak right now. And Endpoint look like they're going for a little bit more of a B center default, but Fiku is getting very aggressive here early on, taking down Robin instantly. Crucial was spotting if a player could go down lower, but he did not see if anyone would run straight up mid like that. And this is working out beautifully for AGO. I love this. They take so many liberties with this round, and it works so heavily in their favor.
They're looking very scary right now. This is some great stuff in a lot of different ways, really reading into things effectively. Starting to worry ever so slightly. Beautiful shot from MHL as well onto Crucial. It was pretty much a done deal, but salt in the wound, that one. Thomas says thank you for the ineffective flashbang, gets himself a kill. He does have the bomb and a lot of utility to play with, so I think they need to be a little careful not to give him too much. But looking like if they play their cards right, they play it nice and safe, nice and smart, should be able to take the round. And it kind of looks like Thomas is going to concede things anyway and just save what he's got into the next round.
Yeah, not really a strong case for this one here. This might be heard by Furlan. I'm a little surprised Furlan didn't hear him at some point here. I think at some point he has to. I think Furlan is... Okay, now he finally moves. And Thomas doesn't win that duel, surprisingly. I thought he had the jump on Furlan there, but couldn't find the kill. And all right, well, AGO, off of the back of a really aggressive play, are able to convert that one. Took a little bit longer than they probably had thought it would, but that's what happens when Endpoint just take their time with things, making sure that they at least give themselves the best chance possible, and this may give them a very strong chance to win a round. A fast cat play with these pistols might catch AGO, but the utility is already looking very good for AGO here. That's a great smoke to stop them. Fiku, he turns away from the flash, but Thomas with a drive-by on the Tech 9 is able to find the opening kill. Grubby is playing off the smoke beautifully, though, and he's able to take down 3 himself.
Once again, AGO looking nice and clean on the anti-ecos. Great little flash from Max, but the blind spray is enough to take him down. 4K in from Grubby. As they get their 5th round on the board here, Maui Snake. AGO looking very scary. Endpoint kind of returning to what we saw from them at the start of the day, where they were a bit deflated. They were a bit not themselves, I suppose, is the safe way, the kind way of putting it. So something's going to have to change, and quickly, because AGO on the CT side of Dust 2 are building up a lot of momentum. Surreal, though, pushing forwards, waiting for the flash. It is pretty damn good for him, but Furlan, unblinded, going to be ready for the hit to come his way. Ooh, mid to B smokes. You can see the communication is not quite there. They line up. They do manage to find Furlan, and Oscarish quickly dealt with. So certainly damage control, but there are still a few things that are raising some question marks. Flank coming in, but unfortunately Groovy misses the chance, at least initially, onto Robin. Has to be careful. There's another body close by. There you go. He gets taken down by MHL. Slowly but surely going to start to work their way into the retake. A missed shot by Crucial. Still wanting nothing to do with that. Grouping up on ramp, it looks like, and going for it all together to try and mount this retake. No utility for the T side. A number of flashes to work with here. We are, of course, playing on the old Dust 2, it looks like, so something worth noting there. Mighty Max playing underneath the window. Not quite noticing that they pushed out as yet. Thomas will take the fire window. Oh, the double spray down from him. Beautiful stuff coming in. Almost the triple, stolen by Crucial, but a great round from Thomas at the end.
Yeah, almost the ace, actually. Good stuff from him. Good fast play from Endpoint there. And very nice hold from Thomas. I mean, at any point, this 3v3 could have gone either direction, but he really locks things down from that back plat position. And now Endpoint, maybe they can pick up a little bit of steam. This is a dangerous round for both teams. Both of them very low in their cash reserves. So whoever comes out with this probably has a free round to work with in the upcoming as well. We'll see, though, as this series has been a little bit all over the place, and I can't always count teams out, even if they save a single gun. So we'll see, though, and it doesn't look like either team wants to be the first one to make a mistake here. Both teams really taking their time. 35 seconds have passed in the round already, and no one really with too much control. A double cat setup from the AGO side, and Endpoint, they're thinking about contesting. They're trying to use that utility to push these players off, but this is kind of shaping up to actually be a different approach. Doesn't look like they actually want to move to cat just yet.
Yeah, a little hard to call. It's kind of difficult to follow, at the very least. But we'll see as the round goes on. Endpoint looking to edge their way out long. Late take into the round. MHL trained and ready with the AWP. I'm going to have to deal with him effectively, as he has indeed been playing very well across the course of the series. Great flash. Rings off a shot. Pushes back. Smoke coming in. Crucial trying to get one on the return, but not able to find it. 20 seconds left. They're really winding the clock down here on the Endpoint side, and first frag coming in for the CTs is not ideal. Oh, it's absolute chaos. Complete pandemonium here over on A long. They're not even going to make it to the site, it doesn't look like. 9 seconds left. And yeah, slowed through the smoke. Robin can't get past. Endpoint let it slip. They don't leave themselves enough time. The mortal enemy of any T side, of course, the clock.
Yeah, that was just a little bit too slow on the approach there. It felt like they wanted to, I don't know, when they were all in mid, it felt like they were using all this utility to take cat control, but then they just kind of fall off of that. They go for a late long take, and at that point, you just kind of have to send it, and they still took a bit of time with it. That being said, because they were able to keep those two guns alive, they actually have a slightly better buy than you would have thought the loser of the previous round would have had. And it looks like it will be a long duel to kick things off here. Thomas has actually gotten positioned by Bluebin, and I'm not sure they know that he's here, but does it even matter when Mighty Max and Crucial are the ones to find the kills? Surreal now lurking towards middle. He's been such a strong lurker in this series thus far. Will his position come back to bite AGO? We will find out, but over here at A is Furlan and MHL. Furlan trying to find something through the smoke desperately, but is unable to connect, and now Endpoint, they have so much more time and this long space. Surely they just take their time and don't throw this one away. It's still It's possible that AGO come into this one, but this is a free path to the bomb site at this point. But as I say that, MHL is able to take down that lurker in Surreal who was coming up catwalk. Now it's a 3v3 situation. This is actually doable for either team, especially when Oskarish finds shots like that. Crucial knows that he has to get involved on the round now, pushing on forward, knows that there is probably a player still coming up towards CT, but this timing will actually probably make him guess at some point. And he didn't know whether to look high or low, but he still finds the flick down and takes down MHL. Now Robin is able to take down Furlan. It's just Oskarish. He was able to find a nice headshot to kick off this retake, but will he be able to find more? The spam through the box isn't able to find a kill, and this is looking very desperate for him at this point. Robin takes him out of his misery and is able to find the third round for Endpoint there. Good recovery from them in that round.
Certainly. Really well done. Really, really well done, and a key round to be picking up as well in a lot of different ways. Keeping it close, not letting them edge too far ahead, breaking the economy. Their economy also is not in a fantastic spot, so a really, really, really important round across the board there for Endpoint to be picking up. Timeout coming in from AGO, though. They realize the position that they're in. A lot of early momentum. Talk things over, work things out. What is the game plan? What is the response? Don't really have the cash to buy up into this one. Maybe a little bit for the likes of Gruby and Oskarish, but maybe Furlan to follow as well. But ultimately, nothing to write home about here for the CT side. Oh, or not. They're going to go for it, actually, Maui Snake.
Yeah.
I thought they would half buy on the richer players, but no. They've gone in.
This is so hard for them, but Furlan getting some nice space towards lower early in this round. Endpoint, I don't think they overlook this, but this could be a win condition for them, but Furlan does pass away. Fiku, up catwalk here with a deagle, looking to get maybe flashed in, but doesn't get the support, but it doesn't seem to matter, actually, as him and MHL actually find 2 kills off of that position. It's a 3v3 situation, but Endpoint are still able to recover. Nice from them, but they still have to get this bomb over here. Crucial does have it, and this little connection between Robin and Crucial goes awry as Gruby is able to take down that player towards catwalk. Crucial just has to hightail it all the way along. Some of these rounds are just so stressful, and Endpoint, they're able to escape, but I don't even think they have a smoke for the cross. So Oskarish has an opportunity to find a kill here. He does take down Crucial, actually, and the chaos of this round is just going the way of AGO. I could not have predicted how this turned out, but now Thomas, in a 1v2 situation, needs to get his team over the finish line for this one here. He's looking for that player towards middle, but with 30 seconds remaining, this is likely going to be a round victory for AGO at this point. Almost no win condition for him in this round, and we don't even have to theorize when Oskarish just puts a bullet right into his face.
Indeed. Crazy times. Definitely crazy times here. Very hard to keep up with, very hard to predict. But looking pretty damn good for AGO, that is for sure. Oh, and the tag from the teammate there onto Thomas. Yeah, Endpoint definitely, like you say, very stressful to watch, let alone play. So I can't begin to imagine how they're feeling, what they're thinking right now. It's a little difficult to keep up with in places. And of course, that buy catching Endpoint completely off guard and now giving a really good chance to AGO to continue their lead and maybe just run away with this first half.
Yeah, this is going to be very difficult for Endpoint, and a little bit of confusion, it looks like, at the B site, but not too big of a hurdle for AGO to overcome. Kind of a weird position for Robin right there. It felt like the way he was positioning himself that he was holding Cat, but he's just looking at his teammates. Really of no consequence for this round, but I think we'll be seeing some kind of mid to B kind of fake Cat split. As now, oh, what is this? Mighty Max getting so much ground for his team. Furlan, though, does spot him out, but he's so up close that he does have a chance to find this kill. MHL takes down Surreal, who was the other mid-to-be splitter, and now it's just Furlan and Oscarish trying to lock down this bomb site here. Spray comes out, and it looks like it will just be a pretty clean round for AGO. Just Thomas remains in the tunnels. He's not even able to find one, so good for AGO. That was... once again, looking pretty hairy. Some of these rounds are just kind of weirdly chaotic, not what you would usually expect from a Dust 2 game. So, you know, who says that there's nothing new on this map?
True. There's different ways to go about it, I suppose. It's a bit of a crazy one. I'm excited to see how the B changes develop in the coming weeks. But I think it's going to be a little while before we see them come out. The tournaments that are going on are not quite in a position to pull out the new version of Dust 2, I suppose. Ooh. Cool. Looking for it. Trying to get a bit more aggressive here with the AWP, but no one really giving him anything to work with. Definitely makes his life somewhat difficult. Chunk damage onto Oscarish is the best they can hope for here. About 50 seconds gone of the round, and no frags as yet. But also an awful lot of utility remaining, as you can see. Trying to bait some of it out, but a deep molly comes in. We'll keep them at bay. It's just the one smoke and a return Molotov of their own. So still utility to get the rail smokes going on the Endpoint side. But flashed out, naded out, good bits of chunk damage coming in from XCOM. AGO is certainly going to make life difficult going into the execute.
Yeah. Not too much utility left for XCOM AGO here, but it should still work out with the positions. MHL not getting spotted initially. I thought he was maybe going to find a little bit more than that, but actually at this point, this looks pretty clean from AGO, or Endpoint, that is. Very nice cat exec coming out from them. And the individual heroics of AGO, which I thought might have played a part in this round, just never had a chance to shine. So Endpoint will likely find their fourth round here. Looks like AGO will try to inflict some damage, though. So this round really isn't over yet in terms of its implications. Oscarish is still playing pretty close up with Furlan here. They're looking to just try to do as much as they can. They don't have the most money themselves, so I'm a little bit curious as to... I was a little bit worried about that, but it's just Groovy now looking for a fight, and he won't find anything himself, but in turn, Robin does take down Surreal. So a little bit of a weird consolation prize, but that's still kind of a weird decision for me. AGO don't have money to buy in this round. They probably weren't going to invest much more into it, so you would think that Groovy would want to save that rifle, but instead just tries to inflict some damage. I get it that you want to thin their numbers out a little bit, but it's kind of just an interesting play from them. It's interesting theory on the side of the polls.
Yeah, definitely a little weird to watch, I suppose, but they take a pause. They're going to get a bit of a reset. Clearly did not work in the way that they had intended. And I mean, sure, they've still got the 4 rounds, but gap really starting to close. The thing is, as well, I think they've done very well in rounds like this so far on Dust 2, where they do have a bit of a weaker buy, a bit of a harder buy to predict. They have managed to pull it out of the bag, so to speak. We'll see what the game plan is here. Phil, I'm going to get chunked down early on. That's not ideal, particularly being one of those M4 players that an awful lot of pressure will be on his shoulders in a round like this. But yeah, unfortunately not able to find it. And again, another kind of slow round, nothing really being given across the board here. Just really slowing things down and hoping to catch someone off guard. It's certainly easier said than done, but we will see. As the clock winds down, Endpoint are going to have to make a move.
Oh, good push from AGO here. They like coming at mid, don't they? Robin holding the line still. Is able to connect with a shot, but this is a very awkward situation for Endpoint now. They're trapped from multiple angles. They still have Thomas on the lurk towards B right now, but the way this round is shaping up, this might be a steal for AGO. We'll see, though, as it continues. The jiggles from MHL do get spotted by Crucial, and he's mollied out of position, but they aren't able to capitalize off of it. That would have been a nice trade for the Endpoint side, but they just weren't able to find it. But Robin, he takes down a player on the flank, but as I say that, Oskarish is able to take down Crucial at the front lines, and now this round really is up to Thomas. What can he do from this lurking position? I think he'll be able to find one. He does take down MHL, and now Robin has to step up to the plate. He's able to take down Furlan, and this molly onto Platt is pretty good, but will it be enough? Robin, he still has so much ground that he has to make up. There's a player right on the other side of this double stack boxes, and he is unable to come up with anything there. This game is giving me more rounds on Dust 2 that are just so unique that I haven't seen in, I don't know. I feel like I just see cat exec after cat exec, maybe a mid to B split. Yeah. This round has given me a lot of situations I have just not seen very much. Like, very rarely have I seen something like that unfold.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. They have a different way of approaching things here. MHL getting aggressive with the AWP. Meanwhile, the T's getting pretty damn aggressive as well, pushing through the double doors early on into the round, trying to find an early frag. Fiku has got to be careful with nades in hand. There's a lot of pressure here. No flash for him. There we go. He will indeed push forward. Beautiful flash, and they're able to eliminate two, dropping the bomb in the process, leaving Robin in a tough spot. And you can just see they're shaky here on the Endpoint side. The molly not meeting the mark at all. It's a two-man advantage. Groovy pushing in behind. Should have an easy one onto Robin here. He's got no idea. Does swap across at the last second just to look into the eyes of his killer, but unfortunately not able to find it. It's Thomas with the Wazda Mac 10. Does get the first frag for Endpoint, but perhaps too little too late.
Yeah. AGO shutting down Endpoint. Thomas, as the smoke fades, is looking for something. Nice connection there. And this is becoming a little bit more doable, actually. There isn't much utility, and now Crucial finds a pick of his own onto MHL. AGO may have let this round slip out of their grasp. And now Thomas, dropping down from Catwalk, had an opportunity, but the landing inaccuracy was just too much for him to overcome. Furlan takes him down. It's just Crucial with just an op, 20 seconds remaining, and he can't really isolate these duels, but he finds the no-scope onto Fiku, looking for the second kill onto Furlan, but Furlan does recover in time. That somehow, some way became actually possible for Endpoint, but AGO still able to keep things under control.
Madness, absolute madness towards the end there. But like you say, not quite enough. And I suppose, as I kind of alluded to earlier on in the round, perhaps too little too late. Endpoint severely on the back foot on the third and final map of our first quarterfinal of the day. Been a long one, that is for sure. Been an unpredictable one, that is also for sure. And Endpoint looking a little down and out. Really not going well for them here, and they do kind of know it. The odds stacked against them. They're really going to have to figure something out, because it's starting to fall apart a little bit.
Well, Furlan's... Okay, well, the technical timeout was apparently due to Furlan's monitor timing out or blacking out somehow. Thomas, on the other hand, has his monitor on, but it's not enough. Ruby taking him down. Good support, good shots, honestly. It didn't even feel like that was a utility battle. Oskarish, though, he might need a little help with utility here, as he's spotted these oncoming Endpoint players. He's trying to slow them down with this molly and smoke, but he's only able to find a single kill. Now Endpoint have control of the B-bomb site with 3 alive, but they have such weak weaponry. A scout on Crucial, a Mac 10 on Mighty Max. This will be a very tough hold, which is something you rarely say when you have players in the B-bomb site.
Shoulder peeks from Max. Oh, going to peek into 3 of them. We'll be able to back away. Flash coming in to gain a bit of control over at middle. Oh, the Deagle landing. Is it going to be enough? Crucial coming in with the M4. Also not quite enough. It's all on to Robin. The find the final 2 frags. The smoke comes in, gonna make life difficult for him. They are certainly tagged up, and the bomb so far ticked. That might just be the frag that does it. It is indeed. And there you have it, a 5th round to end it. At the very least, softening the blow into the second half, but still an incredible performance from AGO, it has to be said. They did such a good job on the weak rounds, particularly, and Endpoint really looking shaky here on Dust 2.
Yeah, I feel like AGO's game plan was just to induce so much chaos into this game that Endpoint, who I've praised previously for having so many well-drilled, well-executed plays, and even secondary plays if the first one doesn't work out, they finally stumped them in a way. It felt like AGO just came at them with so many different looks that Endpoint weren't used to. So, yeah, we'll be starting the second half here, but don't forget to check out the giveaway from Skin Baron in collaboration with the Home Sweet Home Tournament. And be sure to type ! giveaway in the chat. Some great stuff to be got if you do win. I think there's 5 prizes in total this week. So, yeah, be sure to check that out on the Twitter.
Indeed. The Esports Bible on Twitter as well. ! giveaway in the chat. There you go. Get it going. Meanwhile, we're going to get it going on the second half here into the pistol. Robin holding things down from the rice bags. Waiting ever so patiently. He knows there's a bit of presence. The smoke's coming in. He is not thwarted. He will stand strong. Not able to find any heads just yet, though. So, looking to back away. Gonna get taken down as they close the gap. Meanwhile, a quick boost up coming in. Gonna have to be massive, and it's not at all. Fiku just making quick work of the A defense. Groovy gonna go down. Not before he finds a frag. And Crucial is the only one to chime in for Endpoint. An 11th round for AGO. Incredibly decisive stuff to open up the second half.
Yeah, nice stuff from AGO. They are looking really in command of this game right now. Endpoint in common Dust 2 meta do go for the force buy. You don't want to just be on that first gun round with light util across your players, but AGO will be flying out long. Good nades taking down Furlan to 7 HP early on, but it doesn't give Endpoint a kill, one that they so desperately need in a round such as this. It will be up to their players and their shots in order to try to accomplish that. There is no more utility that can inflict damage considerably. In fact, as I say that, Furlan actually could die to a flash hitting him, but I find it rather unlikely.
Doesn't happen too often. Oh, Robin looking for it. Not quite going to be able to land it. Crucial as well up close. Also on that scout, this is going to be difficult to hold. Yeah, once they start to close the gap, the scouts become a little less effective. Trying to boost up here. It's pretty much a repeat of the pistol so far. There we go. Frag coming in for Thomas, but quickly going to be dealt with. Mighty Max on the other side of the map was looking to come in from behind, but well, he'd need a hell of a round here, and he's just clearing all his angles. So the bomb at the very least is going to go down. And AGO should have themselves an easy 12th here. Might get away with a gun or two or a frag or two, but I mean, he's only got 2 in the game, so maybe less likely. Oh, there we go. Doubling up. Getting up to 4. Any more for any more, says Mighty Max. Flash over the top, and he's going to keep pushing forwards.
All right. He escapes with the Galil. That's not too bad. But it's... And it's also good damage, actually. You know, only 2 players alive for AGO now in this upcoming round. It's a shame that Endpoint weren't able to find anything with their early utility or find an early kill at long. That round could have easily gone their way if they had, but we'll see Mighty Max on the Galil. He's had a pretty quiet series, actually. On Mirage, he was pretty low on the scoreboard. Vertigo, he had a decent showing, but he's been very quiet on Dust 2 as well. Smoke down at the double doors, and it looks like AGO aren't too concerned with it. They'll be just full on rushing towards B right there, and that's kind of what you would probably do if you see a smoke land that low anyways. That's actually probably good communication between Oscarish. If he called that there were a smoke on the cross, maybe AGO rethinks that approach, but when you know the smoke is low, it's so much harder for the players to approach or to move to B effectively or quickly that it's pretty much still a good idea to just rush B. Oscarish, though, in spawn with the USP is able to find 2 nice frags, but he only gives up a scout to the side of Endpoint. Probably don't want to take that forward in the next round anyways. That being said, Robin does have armor and a smoke, so he probably doesn't want to die for free anyways.
Once again, though, AGO doing a really good job in these anti-eco situations. Cool, calm, and collected, I think, pretty much sums them up. Maybe Vertigo is a bit harder for them, but then it is a great map, as we have been saying, for Endpoint. We'll see here. Do or die pretty early on for Endpoint, to be honest. The buy coming in, double up, set up straight away. Maui Snake, they're going to need to get this on the board. And there's a kind of decent-ish chance. Of course, that bonus buy coming in from AGO might make life a little easier. The flick not quite landing from MHL. But all the same, an important round. The most important round of the series, probably, for Endpoint coming up.
Yeah, and they have a double op to work with at least, but there is so much utility on AGO that if they just go for, you know, a really strong cat exec or a mid to B, it's really going to be so difficult for those ops to come into play here. We see that Surreal has taken an aggressive angle. He doesn't want to wait for the exec to come his way. He just wants to take the fight to them. This dribble smoke actually might have a... Okay, I thought it might have had a gap, but it still ends up pretty much picture perfect. We'll see, though, if him and Mighty Max can combine with a boost here to find anything. They just might. This is a really nice heads-up play from them. And I think Groovy knows this. He's probably seen this before at some point in time and knows that, if anything, he's just pressured that B site. Oscarish, though, in spawn, flashed in, is not able to accomplish anything. This may have pulled some rotations, though, from the Endpoint side. It will just be Mighty Max and Surreal to try to hold on here. The smoke has such great timing that Surreal and Mighty Max are able to capitalize, and they connect to close that round out in what you labeled and what was probably the biggest round of this entire series for Endpoint. They do come out on top.
In explosive fashion as well. Look at this. Brilliant stuff. Really going to spur them forwards. AGO have enough to reinvest. MHL only has a Glock. What's happened there? A bit weird. Surreal finds Oscarish, meanwhile, off the back of the spawn. Maybe that was the game plan, letting him go for the spawn and trading things across. Groovy going to take down Crucial, though. Speed is still on here. They're not going to capitalize and push straight into B, but looking like they're going to set up for B. Mighty Max, the only one left by himself, needs to be very careful indeed. Groovy, meanwhile, just sat inside a smoke. Oh, Max with the double spray down, though, looking for more. Unfortunately, will be denied, but at the very least has gotten himself a man advantage to work with. The rotations taking a little bit of time. But it's good here, because they're going to lose the site, right? The plant's going to come in for sure. But it's a question of how they approach the retake. 2 in from the tunnels, 1 from the window. Someone's got to be proactive here on the AGO side of things, and I think they know it. Furlan trying his best on the edge of this smoke to find a frag. It's going to dissipate. Surreal kind of ready for it, but how ready is the question? So very close here. And there you go. Surreal going to find it, and MHL not ready for the flank. So Endpoint get themselves a 7th, answering back pretty well here, and gaining some good momentum.
Those kills from Mighty Max were instrumental in the victory here for Endpoint. Though that was such a... I mean, he's not the person you would usually highlight just for mechanical ability, but look at this right here. Replay comes out, just takes out the first. As soon as he does, he just instantly headshots the second. That is... It couldn't have come at a better time. It was so important. If he just dies there, he only even gets 1 3v3 retake on the B side. I mean, that's just so difficult for Endpoint, but gave them such a lifeline, and that's what Mighty Max does. Seen it in previous weeks where sometimes it's really just him who comes up big. I mean, Crucial, Surreal, Thomas generally are the ones lighting up the scoreboards, but sometimes when Endpoint need a play, they need some kind of savior. Mighty Max has been that for them a few times from my memory.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's not been having the hottest of games, I think it's safe to say, but Turning it around in a lot of ways. 1-for-1 in on the site, though, as the action, of course, getting underway. Robin at Goose finds the first, peeks out for a second, a third as well. They're all having nice rounds here. Maui Steak definitely picking up some energy towards the tail end of this game. They've just got to keep it going a little while longer. It will be another buy from AGO. So crunch time once again for the CT side.
That was a nice flick from Crucial. It's a shame that it came just a little bit late. If that were on the first guy instead, maybe keeps himself alive. But regardless, pretty clean round from Endpoint. They keep 4 of their players alive, and yeah, they're coming back into this one. They're looking pretty good. The util is not too good on the AGO side. Whatever play that they go for early in this round is probably where they have to end up. They only have 3 smokes remaining, so they still could maybe go for some kind of fake play, but it would basically be off the back of a single execute, like maybe like a cat drop to B at this point. We'll see what AGO do call. Crucial in a nice position though towards catwalk, but I'm not sure if he's aware of the fact that Oskarish could be there. He's still holding an angle that only leaves him exposed to the stairway regardless, so really it's of no consequence if Oskarish is or is not there to him, but it's really up to him to try to find this opening frag. He misses that shot. That is such a great jiggle from Furlan, and he actually feels like there's an opportunity here for him and his team. This is not what AGO had in plan. This was not what they thought was going to be their win condition in this round, but somehow, some way, it's actually opened up a huge avenue for them. It's actually being used as a fake. I'm not sure how I feel about this from AGO, but it does secure them the B site. This is actually an insane call from them and an insane individual play from Furlan.
Have to find something, and quickly here. Verlan creeping in. Max seems kind of ready for it, but missed the mark. He's crept in. I'm not sure if they're going to be ready for this. Oskarish is definitely holding the angle, though. Will take him down. Pretty big frag coming in. Furlan now going to strike. Is he even going to be needed? He's not going to be needed. It's Fiku with a 3K. Unlucky that we missed it. We thought it was all about Furlan, but not going to be the case. Nonetheless, it is a 14th round for AGO. Endpoint once again, the very final hurdle is where they slip up.
Again, AGO showing me around I really just haven't seen before. Like, a single player runs up catwalk, the other players just jump off cat and sprint through tunnels to B. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting rounds in this game thus far. It's weird that I would consider the hero of that round is Furlan, actually. But he didn't even get a kill. And now, AGO, playing off of that, they're in a good position to win this game at this point. It seemed like Endpoint was mounting a comeback, but now if they lose this one, Endpoint, they're done for. They will have no money into the next round, whereas AGO are in a not the greatest position in terms of money, but I mean, they have such a big round lead right now that it almost doesn't matter. At some point, they'll be able to string together a couple gun rounds. So we'll see what play they have in store for us here. Endpoint, they have very little information across the map. They have long control, but they've lost all of cat. They don't have anyone press forward. But these are good nades coming out from the Endpoint side. That is a lot of damage being dealt, and Robin will be able to capitalize. He gets 2 opening kills for the round. It's down to MHL, Fiku, and Groovy, but Crucial is in such a nice spot. This Goose position should be at least good for 1 at this point. He does find Fiku there, who was hard clearing him, and Thomas wants to continue pressing on forward. Maybe not the fight that he was looking for exactly, but nonetheless, Endpoint are able to recover. Geez, it felt like as soon as AGO started their exec, Endpoint just threw a barrage of utility at them, and it all worked out beautifully for them. Endpoint with a much needed round right there.
Definitely keeping them away from 15 is incredibly important here. And of course, no money for AGO coming into round number 24. They will have to half buy down, bit of utility bought up. These can often be the rounds, as I'm sure you and I have both witnessed fairly often. We'll see what the case is and what the plan is for XCOM AGO. Looks like it's going to be B, and they are trapping these players in, but Surreal and Robin holding things down pretty cleanly. And I think the round might just come with it. Groovy does get a cheeky one with the deke, but surely not. Fiku's in behind. Gonna find the first. Second escapes him. So some damage done, but not much happening there for the T's.
An important victory for Endpoint to stay alive with at least 3. Even if they lose an upcoming round, they'll still have some kind of buy to move forward with. That being said, AGO still have a lot to play with here. We'll be opting for an early long take. Ooh, actually, it might be a late long take. The flashes are being primed. Furlan is here and ready. He smokes the molly, catches Endpoint maybe on a timing, and so long control is taken by the side of AGO. But what will they do with this here? A flash comes in to set up Thomas, but he's not able to actually find a kill. Pushing on forward is Robin. He is neither able to find one. Crucial, it's up to him, and he comes up big with 3. A 4th for Crucial as well, and it just leaves Groovy all the way in tunnels. What a heroic performance from Crucial right then and there.
Big man stepping up at a big hour. Looking very, very good indeed. Groovy gonna fall pretty quickly. Huge stuff coming in. That's kind of what they need, is the individuals to have those massive moments. Looks so good. Kind of gets the collat there as well. Could have been a quicker end to that 4K. I think it was a collat leg, as it were. XCOM-AGO, though, respect this coming in with the pause. They've used a fair amount across the course of the series. Endpoint, meanwhile, have not used a single one in the very final map. So confident in themselves with the instinctive calls. But like I say, the T side, the Polish boys really working it out, actually using all their timeouts to talk things over and make sure they have got the game plan clear cut going into the next rifle round. So really good to see.
I'm surprised Endpoint haven't used more timeouts. We saw what that did for them on Vertigo, where they were able to mount a huge comeback and end up taking the map. Likely off the back of them finding, I think, 5 rounds consecutively after they took their first timeout. And this game, they just haven't opted to use any. Oh, wow. This is not something you see very often. Actually, the back-to-back timeout. So Endpoint actually maybe had a little bit of confusion there, or maybe just want to ice the kicker a little bit in calling a timeout right after AGO's. Kind of an interesting play. You don't see it too much, but when it does come out, you know that there might be a couple just kind of head games being played amongst the two teams. We'll see what that actually transpires to. Maybe the meta head game between these two teams is actually, you know what, let's just do something really typical. Because this game has been so all over the place that they'll never expect if we just played a normal 3-2 setup on the side of Endpoint, and they'll never expect just a normal cat control being taken by AGO. We'll see.
Ball to play for then. Endpoint looking to continue their pretty decent streak in the home sweet home cups across the course of the weeks. Of course, making it to the grand final last week. And as we have joked, as we have said, they can only lose to complexity. That's the rules. But AGO looking to spice things up a little bit. Nice nade coming in, softening them up ever so slightly early on in the round. But once again, another kind of slow take here from XCOM-AGO. No super fast pushes through the double doors as we've seen them go for. Maybe I spoke too soon though. Robin about to meet. Oh, a good couple players, not a single bullet landing. That is a very broken spray down indeed. Crucial as well, now has to deal with them from so many different angles, and Furlan's ahead of the molly to take him down. Thomas and Mighty Max trying to hold things down. A lot of damage done so far, and the bomb plant, of course, coming in. Certainly easier said than done at this point.
Yeah, 3v3 situation. Good util to help Surreal scale along with Mighty Max. That's a nice molly onto the platform as well, and it looks like Endpoint has recovered here. A very unorthodox round once again. AGO just won't give us any typical looks in this game, it seems like. But Endpoint were still able to weather the storm. It was a 5v3 at one point, and yet Endpoint closed it out with 3 players alive. That's a 5-0 to end that one, along with a bomb plant, or a bomb defuse. So AGO, I like the creativity from the strategy. it's a shame they weren't able to win off of it, as they now have no more timeouts and will just have to use everything they got in the freeze time in order to solidify their plan. Seems like it'll be a late long take coming out from them, which will test Thomas. Oof. Not up for the test.
He fails pretty heavily, unfortunately. Hate to point the finger, but that could be a big fight lost. A lot of control gone for Endpoint in a lot of different ways very early on into the round. A little quiet here across the board. Just trying to work off of that early advantage here on the T side of things. Pacing very important. Timing very important. 50 seconds left. Just on the edge of the smoke. The weights are crucial. Trying to have another hero around more likely than not. Oh. Like I say, timing going to be everything. He peeks out just as the smoke dissipates, and MHL will take him down. 5 on 3. XCOM looking to get up to match point as the cross smokes come in. Surreal on that secondary up, trying to find what he can. It's Robin, though, through the smoke, getting 2 heads, pulling it back from the brink. The boost going to come in as well in pretty damn good time. He gets clapped by Groovy, and Groovy going to take out Max. It's all onto Surreal. 1 versus 3. On the uncomfortable AWP, not the best weapon for this situation. The jump shot coming in, he doesn't quite land it. Is he going to go for it again? The flash on high to try and peek into long. It's spotted. MHL, quick spin around to take him out. And the 15th for XCOM AGO comes in.
Yeah, that was a nice attempt there at the end by Surreal, but now 3 match points for AGO. This looks like it might be the end of it for Endpoint, but they still have a little bit of fight left in them. A couple FAMASs and MP9. Good utility, actually, across the board for them. It's just crucial who's lacking there, but he still has that op. And MHL, he has his own, and he wants to get aggressive, but that molly is so timely and well-placed that he does have to back off. Oh, that's a nice nade, though, to take Surreal down. Thought it would do a little bit more than that, but still, good chunk gone. Makes it a little bit even more difficult given the fact that he has a FAMAS. And it looks like AGO, they had their secondary play in mind for themselves. It was a mid to B split, but there's actually no smoke towards CT. So actually, Robin was able to actually hold that angle. And I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication with AGO, where they're wondering where that second smoke was supposed to be. But they are just forced into a full tunnel play. No one from Endpoint, though, wants to be the one to make the mistake. No one wants to be the one to lose their life unnecessarily. So you can see that despite the fact that all 5 members of AGO are grouped up in tunnels, there's actually no info for the Endpoint side. Surreal, though, holding the line with his FAMAS. The nades come out. It's going to be up to him and Mighty Max to connect, but neither of them find anything. Robin kills 1 player on the cross, but this is looking so grim on the side of Endpoint. They lose one of their players in Thomas. Oscarish here on the lurk, looks to shut things down, but Robin actually was able to find another. So it's a 3v2 situation, and Endpoint, they have to fight for their life.
An absolute hero is needed. A miracle. And the gods of Counter-Strike at the moment, you do have time to work with in the form of the bomb not really being planted. They run boost across. And Robin tries to strike, but not going to happen. All onto Crucial. Finds the first. Ooh, not quite the second. If he'd have got that, maybe, but it's not going to be the case. 16-12 in favor of XCOM